the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving.
The show goes on.
Nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates! The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. The no bullshit approach covering all financial markets from Bitcoin, DarkNet, political betting, and the largest casino in the world, the US stock market. Today on Market Mania, we whip out the bag. We get the report card with our resident statistician, Jack. Thank you for joining us. JokerStash bows out of the game. Miami is aping into BTC. And lead story, Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z. There's a combination that when they were both in high school, no one ever thought would happen. They have announced 500 Bitcoin into a new endowment to help, I guess, initially India and Africa. Brett Ritchie, the hits keep coming.
Yeah, it's funny because you kind of have Elon and Kanye are friends. They're doing a clubhouse together. You have now Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey. It kind of reminds me of when, like, I think it was Rick Ross and 50 Cent were each friends with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. So we see a lot of these sort of crossover collabs throughout the years. I think this is great. Funding Bitcoin for India and Africa, right? What's the negative? I don't see any negative here. To me, it's like universally positive, and I'm excited to see what happens with it.
Jack, look at this. 500 coins. They don't want to take direction from Jay-Z or Jack. Those probably wouldn't be terrible people to also tell you what to do. But they're just going to do stuff, and they need board members. What do you think?
I mean, it's great. It's about damn time, I would say. If I zoom way out and look at my little armchair historian history of Africa in the 20th century, it seems like a lot of European colonization. And then in the 50s or 60s, Europe gets out, but then immediately major Wall Street banks come in and they say, hey, government of African nation, you should take out $100 billion loan and you should pay us back every year. And we're going to advise you on how to handle your treasury so that you can afford to pay us back. And then you have the financial crippling of Africa in the later half of the century. A little bit of debt forgiveness in the 90s, but not enough. So, this is a small step, but a necessary step.
Jack and Jay-Z, they're burning the blunt. You know, like Jay-Z rolled that shit. And then they're just like, you know what? Let's just give Africa and India a bunch of Bitcoin. And then they're like, you know what? Fuck yeah. And Jack's like, there's levels to this shit, kids. Jack's like, yeah, I just fired off $1 billion at it. You know, what's another like 25 million when you're going in with me? You know, he's just wide open right now.
One of my questions, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go. That was done. That was too far.
Yeah. One of my questions is Jay-Z one of the few Bitcoiners that doesn't just openly talk their book all the time, right? If he's giving away 500 Bitcoin, does he already have some Bitcoin? Is he actually a secret Bitcoin holder and he's giving some out of his stash away, or is he putting cash in to buy the Bitcoin? I don't know. I'm a little curious about that.
Eighth to an O, O to the key to the ROC, then to the private keys on the Trezor. He never even needed to make a blueprint 4. He's going to make a blueprint 5 about that shit, about how it all went on to the Trezor eventually. That's pretty cool. It's a cool initiative. It really is neat. There's just so many hits that keep coming for Bitcoin. It's been one hell of a year already. 2021, the year of the ox, which is a bull. And everything's pumping, but Bitcoin has enjoyed such a crazy run recently, and it's going to continue. Yesterday, Mellon aped in. Today, the city of fucking Miami's coming in, all right? Like, what the hell is going on? Did you see this? Did you guys see this? The mayor?
It's fantastic. So I saw whispers of it. Yeah.
You were trying to run a similar game, or you were asking, weren't you just asking some counties in Nevada or something, or a city in Nevada?
Civic engagement. It's real fun.
Why aren't they doing this?
I mean, if you've never emailed or called your senator, your representative, I suggest doing it. It's a good time. So there were whispers of this Miami thing last week.
Don't waste time. Just what before you launch into it. I have a political, like one big political, I don't know what it's called, like a truth or something I don't sway from. I don't shoot off money or time on politics. I think if you don't do that, I think it's really important. I think you just like, but anyway, go ahead. I do like to hear about nitty civil actions though, which is weird. That's just enjoyment.
I fired off maybe like 90 seconds. I typed up a 3-sentence email and said, hey, inflation's coming. What are you doing, city of Henderson, where I live, to protect against it? Are you going to follow Miami's lead and buy some Bitcoin? And to their credit, they wrote back yesterday and they said, thank you for your question, but unfortunately, pursuant to Nevada revised statute chapter 355, we can only invest in securities backed by the US dollar. And when you go one level deeper, you realize that about 3 weeks ago, the governor of Nevada said he wants to let tech companies come into Nevada and set up their own governments.
Good luck with that, Jack. Good luck there. Maybe you'll get them, they'll just be like, yeah, actually, what DeFi tickers you like? We're just going to fire it right now.
And with Nevada, they've been fairly progressive on crypto, on blockchain, on sort of, moving forward and embracing new technology. So I don't think it's that crazy. One thing that's a little interesting is Nevada as silver state and gold state. Oh, we're frozen. I got to refresh. I'll be back. Back up. Sorry, we've had some technical difficulties today, which is why we started a little late. In any event, Nevada, with their precious metals throughout the years that were part of the state, I'm even a little surprised they have this "it must be dollar-backed" rule in the first place. Is Mike frozen now?
It seems like Mycon's frozen, but I'll say I agree. I can see it actually changing. People love comparing themselves to their peers. So if you're mayor of Henderson, you look at mayor of Miami, you're like, I want to do cool, interesting stuff like him. He's getting a lot of PR.
Yeah. So he's doing great. Tony, what's up?
Yeah, sorry guys, we're having some lockups here. It's been one of those gremlin type of days. If we can get Mycon back, we will here. But until then, I just want to push us along to this very interesting story that we saw earlier, which was this DarkNet crypto kingpin, JokerStash, is retiring after printing $1 billion, selling guns and drugs and all the fun stuff you could find on the DarkNet. Yeah. So this is really fascinating. There's this whole thread by Tom Wilson who goes into the details. I recommend you go check it out on Twitter, but the main idea was that he was trading stolen credit cards, identity data, and just made a ton of money. And then instead of like some of these other dark nets and just pulling the rug and running, he told everyone, hey, I am shutting down, get your transactions done. And then he took off and ran. So I don't know if he started having some heat from the feds or if he was just ready to go spend his billions. But a little part of me thinks this is not the end for this guy. These dark nets, they just pop up everywhere. And I actually recommend that people go check out how to get on the dark web. There may come a day, and I don't recommend breaking any laws, but there may come a day where one might consider having an extra passport or having an extra ID, not to break laws, but to get out from underneath, any more authoritarian governments or anything bad that can happen. Darknets typically have a bad vibe, but they can be useful if you use them with your morals intact.
Yeah, so
no, go ahead.
I'm all for freedom and letting adults buy and sell products and services. So whenever people on the dark web are providing drugs, perhaps that maybe aren't legal in certain jurisdictions, I'm all for it. But you say this guy was buying and selling stolen credit cards and stolen identity. Doesn't that cross into a territory where like he's not at all guided by any moral compunction and is actually hurting his fellow man?
He isn't, and I don't condone that at all. What I'm saying is, for your own purposes, these are resources that you should know how to access and at least understand, if for no other reason than to not be gamed by these, because they're going to continue to pop up everywhere, and they can be useful if you approach it with your morals intact. Just understand you're swimming among sharks and thieves, and it's shady, but it's also the forefront of what will be the future. I mean, in the future, it seems like almost everything could or would be DarkNet, or this type of ideal will become acceptable, because I'm not sure how crypto gets regulated. I'm not sure how these markets get regulated, and it seems like capital flows the geodesic of least resistance.
We'll see. I mean, like, the downside is massive here, as we've seen with Ross Ulbright, who got life in prison for running one of these. Free Ross. And then also in terms of this JokerStash guy, I'm going to bring it back to the first topic with Jay-Z. He said, sell crack, make a million, then stop. Good advice. That's basically what this guy's doing. I would just, you make all this money, why would you engage in criminal activity? The whole point of that, the criminal activity he engaged in, is to make more money than he could, like the traditional route. He did that. Now you can just kind of enjoy the fruits of his labors and ride off into the sunset.
All right, well, I think we got Mycon back here. Are you hearing us, Mycon?
Yeah, and thank you for doing the Joker story. That's crazy. The JokerStash story. That's pretty crazy, and I do appreciate the free Ross. That is the same thing that Ross should have done, I guess. It just quit. Now this one's a little bit worse too. I don't know if you guys saw it, but this one is like a carding and identity trading DarkNet.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That's good. I'm glad you made sure to note that this one is more evil than the Silk Road one. It's important because there's levels to this shit, and it's important to do it. Does that mean we have to take a look at this report card now?
Yes, sir.
Jack,
Mr.
Thank
Caboose.
you for coming on the show. Now,
Much
there's an asterisk at the end that we can discuss, but or not. I can just take the L. But go ahead,
sure.
Take it away.
So looking at the lifetime picks of the show so far, Glance maintains his #1 all-time ranking that he held last week, but a shakeup beneath that. Tony, the producer, Brett Ritchie, both moving up one spot at the expense of noted legendary host Brian the Icon Mycon, falling all the way to 4th place with a paltry, if you look towards the middleist column there, a paltry 50% lifetime ROI since the show started back in September.
It's a tough crowd. It's a tough crowd, I guess. It's a tough crud. So
I mean, the market has been if we were losing, it would be pathetic in these market conditions.
That is true.
To be fair.
But there's a lot that's going to happen here over time. You got that lifetime ROI. You have like a Doge long. That's not going to work out lifetime. Like,
we'll see about that. Okay, it's up like
so.
20x. I think I'm fairly safe to hold on to profit there.
Yeah, not much change to the all-time best 1 week picks, but if you scroll down 2 charts, take a look at the all-time greatest picks of all time. That's where you'll see the Richie's Dogecoin pick. Noted last week.
Unbelievable.
Picked it when it was less than a penny, so it actually broke the model. But I fixed the model. We can get things less than a penny into the system now. So sitting at 1,721% lifetime ROI.
Well done.
Yeah.
Hats
Dethroned
off.
E-Hang.
Hats off for that one, which is up more, by the way.
Your E-Hang is crushing.
It's ridiculous. It's like it's a 10-bagger. The current price 90, and that ain't right. Or when is this? When is this issue? When is this current as of?
Wednesday.
All right. Need a few days to compile it. So what? So I mean, that's worst. Oh gosh.
Worst picks of all time. Moderna got a little worse. Tesla short. It's just always going to be dragging down the lifetime picks forever and always.
Oh.
Trump has reached his floor. at 0.000 cents. So I won't see a lot of movement there. And then one other thing I'd be remiss not to mention, but we do have subscriber picks of the day. They're up live now. DM me on Twitter at Jack Lysowski, as you see on your screen there. We've got Twitter user at Jeff Krantz aped into some SportX tokens, up 400-ish% ROI. I don't have a graphic to share, but something new we're doing. So get your picks in. You throw them in the chat. If you're in the chat right now, give me a ticker, give me a pick, and then we'll put it up there on the Google spreadsheet, and we'll get you going. We'll get you the credit you deserve if you've got the hot picks.
I saw that. What is that? That guy tweets a pick of the week or the pick of the day every day after on our Twitter picks of the day. He follows up with his pick of the day. Yeah, keep doing that. Keep doing that. Eventually, we'll have an automated AI that Jack will program that will just immediately rank. Also, this is neither here nor there, but I did do some art with my daughter, and I had my GameStop etching framed. Now, this is neither here nor there, but I am strongly considering like giving that away somehow. I don't know if that's maybe for the best pick of the day or something over some period of time. Just spitballing here. It's one of those
Beautiful
kind of
art.
episodes. So I
would pay for that. You
Thank
should
you,
put that. You
Jack.
could make 10 more and put it on put it on a merch site.
No, this is a one of one thing. Doesn't ever happen again.
All right.
Extra
rare.
everything's momentary, right?
Scarcity.
So it's all a circle. Anything else? Is that it? Is that it for the Jack report card? The Market
Jack
Mania
report card.
Thank
Better
you.
luck next week, gentlemen. Let's keep growing that ROI.
Have fun staying poor. Tony, I'm only 50%. Tony, it's really going to fuck with me over the weekend. Would you do me a favor? And I'd like to get to the bag today and see what kind of Market Mania mailbag mail is in your sack.
All right, we
today.
got one from Isaac D asking Brett Ritchie, what do you think of VGX?
I don't even know what that is. So that is not going to stop me from giving an opinion. I think it is a little risky because I don't know what it is.
It's like it's the
I don't know
Voyager
what it is.
token.
If you can,
Okay, I got one here.
I've had a
Voyager
buddy.
token.
I just
Is
got to
it,
say on
so it's
VGX,
crypto?
I've had a buddy shilling
Never
this.
heard of it.
I've had a buddy shilling me on this for weeks now. He's gone in pretty deep on it. He thinks that this is just. I think if this is what I'm thinking of, this is an exchange token, just like you'd find FTT or a Cell token or anything. And he's pretty convinced this one's gonna just rocket. And if the price here is any indication, yeah, it's been doing pretty well. Low unit price, and I've had one dude shilling me, so that's it. I'm not sure I can fully tell you to go in on it, but I've never seen someone so excited about a token before in my life.
I would pass based on this, based just on what I see here. It's already up 46%, which made like today. So now that makes me feel like I missed the boat. I'm hearing about it now through the YouTube chat. That's typically not a great way to like go.
Yeah,
invest.
but I missed the boat. I missed the boat on Bitcoin in 2015 when it went to $410. I was like, up 15% since it's over.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the
when you hit
opposite.
1,000,
Under
I thought I was
$4.
too late, so.
Under $4, maybe fire on it. And I think all of these exchanges, or almost all of them, at least in the near term, are going to be going up because, I mean, you almost just have to go out of your way to lose money in these markets these days. So
the last thing I'll say on Voyager is it looks like, just on its website, it looks like a cleaner, more user-friendly DeFi liquidity pool type situation. In my experience, when I go to SushiSwap, Uniswap, wherever, I feel like I have to have like at least taken Computer Science 101 to know what I'm doing. But Voyager looks clean, simple, like a Robinhood type user could get on here and not be intimidated. So that's interesting.
my YouTube account is showering me, says Tony needs to chill on shitcoin shilling. Everyone is biased for their bags. His buddy's opinion means diddly squat. So I think that was my point. I've only had one guy shilling it for me. I don't own any VGX. I've just heard of it. And I've never had anybody come shill an exchange token to me before, really. So he comes out of nowhere. He's like, hey, this is going to be a big deal. And then I'm being asked about it on chat. That's my exposure to this and my understanding of it. So I'm not shilling it. I'm just saying it's a low unit price and all of these are going up. So that's
got
just
a mailbag
best
letter
guess.
here from ex Mr. Style. He asked if the AMP token is something that you've ever heard of. I have never heard of the AMP token either. Doesn't even have a coin market cap. Looks like you need to look at CoinGecko to find it. Yep, got nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's up 58%, and it looks like up 58%. It is, by the way, kids, if this is your first alt season, if this is your first pump, like crypto pump, if you find crypto because Gene Simmons is tweeting about Dogecoin and you're like, wow, I'll just ape into that because there's nothing else to do today. Like, you need to recognize that we are in hyper euphoria, bordering on mania kind of time in this. Now, that also might mean it just moons more because every single municipality, hedge fund, endowment just starts aping into crypto, and somehow that leaks out to bullshit DeFi projects. No offense anywhere, but that's kind of how it works. Be careful when cab drivers and people at clubs are telling you, hey, here's this new DeFi project. Guy cutting your hair is like, did you ever hear about this token? Like, that's the time when you gotta really, look yourself in the mirrar.
Brett Ritchie yesterday said Lindsay Lohan's tweeting about Tron. I'm calling a market top. I think you're right, Brett.
Well, I was joking too to some extent, and also as we saw with GameStop, once it hits the retail mass, it could still go on a crazy run from that point. It's not like it's necessarily a top signal. It could still, and like crypto, especially the bull market, random coins pump all the time. Like pretty much everything kind of pumps in conjunction. And then on top of that, there's those 10x's to 100x's. And then there's like a few soldiers that will last, like a chain link, which pump from like nothing. And then it's held on to this multi-billion-dollar market cap. Often the project's going to fall back to earth. But there's massive gains to be made. It's just really risky. It's gambling.
Just imagine with me for a second that Lindsay Lohan comes on Market Mania and she is just super fucking knowledgeable and just talks mad shit to us. She like flashes a 9-digit Trezor right on the screen.
Lindsay on, man.
And she's like, have fun staying poor, bitches, making fun of me. I'm getting 28% APR on like staking on compound finance, bitches. NFT just sold for 200 ETH. What? Like, just, I would love that. Lindsay
I want to ask
Lohan,
about VGX.
Anybody that knows Lindsay Lohan, big fan of Mean Girls, really a special place in my heart. Mm-hmm. If you would come on the show and school us on DeFi, I would be so happy right now. We could shill your NFT, whatever. Like, market made it for you.
Tony, feel free to interrupt me if we don't have time for one more question. But on DeFi, what are the alternatives? I'm trying to add some liquidity to some pools, but I don't want to pay a $56 fee every time I make a trade. Is that just the way it is during this high demand season?
We'll get to it on my pick of the day too, but there's other options for DeFi. We kind of went over some of them on Wednesday with JMO, but Ethereum really is pricing out. Like he was saying, 10K is not even enough. Like that's not even pricing out like the small guy. That's pricing out the middle guy. So it's like a whales only playground. And there's a lot of chains working on this. I think a lot of the ones pumping this week have been like the Solanas, the Avalanche, a lot of the Ethereum killers that are the faster chains. But you have Serum on Solana, Tron, whatever Lindsay was shilling, whatever they have a Uniswap clone on Tron. Tron basically is like Litecoin to Ethereum's Bitcoin. So it's like the fast testnet kind of version. But for the most part, it's secure. People really don't like their marketing tactics, but there's a lot of volume still done on Tron. And then Binance Smart Chain is another very low fee environment with a lot of DeFi products. So pretty much anything that's on Ethereum, like these really cool, exciting things that everyone wants to interact with and pay a lot of gas to do so, is being cloned or replicated on faster chains. Does that mean the liquidity is going to migrate as well or split, or you'll be able to have that same liquidity there? The jury's still out on that, but I do think it's just a matter of time. You can't have these Ethereum fees. It's not, to me, that's not like a working product almost.
It's like what JMO said. It's like exactly what JMO said. He said, if you have 10,000, guy said, if I have 10,000, what do I ape into, JMO? JMO said, have fun staying poor. And first thing, go get more money. You got to pay it if you want
a good amount of money.
I agree. What do you mean? Stocks, you need, you get 1,500 in a Robinhood account. You're out there doing it. You're buying fractional shares of Amazon. You're a boss, like, your own hedge fund. But I mean, I agree with you, Jack. The protocol's broken. You can't pay $56, even $17. Like, it doesn't work. I mean, there's something wrong. There's something wrong at the protocol level. To ape into this DeFi shit, you need to be like moving weight. I agree. That's bullshit. It should be more. I wish it was not like that. I fight hard to like get low fees on these things because that's what changes the world for real, not just crack for rich people. But right now, I'm sorry. Ethereum, DeFi, it's crack for rich people right now. I'm sorry.
And I would just say quick, the very promising scaling solution I keep hearing about from some of my favorite content producers is XDAI Stake. I put $50 into Stake. So yeah, I guess I'm shilling my bag here, but I'm not counting on this one to make me rich. I just think it's interesting and I wanted to take part in it. And the reason I like it is because they won the Reddit scaling competition for the
well, I got you on the get rich part. I just subtweeted Lindsay Lohan into our Market Mania tweet today. So let's just say, things are happening. I'm making moves during the show. That's what you get. I'm making moves. You know what? I'll get it. Lindsay, if you're out there, I will give you this or I'll give you this. If you come on the show, it's an etched picture of GME that I made. I had it framed. It's not, it's $15 frame made in China, but like it still looks nice, and it would be a great centerpiece for the craziness of the pandemic market pumps. And just it's a good. I think it's a conversation piece. So please come on the show, Lindsay. With that, I think it's probably time to put a bullet in this show for the week. Probably time, and let's go ahead and transition to the Market Mania pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack them, stack them to the top.
I do like an accurate report. And what are you going to throw out on your very few picks of the day that you get to pick?
Yeah, very vanilla pick. Litecoin, it was probably the number 3 token that captured people's attention back in 2017 because it was on Coinbase was probably the only reason anyone knew about it. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Litecoin obviously hasn't hit all-time highs yet. I think there'll be enough people who look at the $170, $180 price compared to like the 300s that hit a few years ago and say, oh, there's more meat on this bone. I'm riding the more meat on the bone wave.
Oof, a rare misstep for Jack, who's been just shooting straight every episode, every sentence. But that is going to go on your yearly right there. And I guess I'll give you the what if hat because, I mean, you need a what if scenario. No, you know what? You don't even get the what if hat. Fuck that. Do your own research. This is not investment advice on Market Mania, but Litecoin, it's a test net. It's a joke. It's a joke coin. It's been the Satoshi Light.
What's
Joke coins are in right now. Joke coins are hot.
What's Cardano? That's a test net too.
You need to be able to issue sells on Market Mania picks of the day because you need to come back on and say, nope, I'm out of Litecoin now.
Yeah.
Like just because if you can't play any momentum if you don't sell.
Out at 270.
Litecoin 270 sell. We got a 270 sell on Litecoin.
It'll be in the spreadsheet. We're adding to the complexity, getting better every time.
Let's do it.
That one might pay. That one might print. Okay, Brett Ritchie, what is your pick of the day?
I'm rolling with Serum. I believe that the Ethereum fees are pretty much the main topic of discussion. A lot of people are interested in DeFi. It's going mainstream, and they're just priced out because of these fees are insane. And Solana they've optimized for speed. Serum's built on Solana, and it's pretty cheap. What's the market cap here? 200 million. I think for a lot of the Ethereum DeFi stuff's multi-billion-dollar market cap. So I think there's some room to run if enough people kind of migrate off Ethereum and look for a cheaper solution. And again, low unit price, we always typically like that on this show.
Good stuff. Going with an SBM backed crypto. I can't hate on that. Fully diluted valuation says 41 billion. Not sure if that's correct or how that works.
Might have dropped the ball on that. Then if I missed that, I'm
not sure if that's right though.
You know what? I'll get out of this at $5. That's fine.
Oh shit! This is going for the pump. Not sure if any of that's right. By the way, not sure at all. So could be 4 billion. Not sure. We do your own research here. We don't do it all for you in 20 fucking minutes every day. I mean, come on, you're gonna have to like put in some work. So I'm going with just a guaranteed winner, BCH. It's just you got to load the balance sheet here for Jack to track over time. And I'm not worried about the 1 year time horizon here. I'm only looking long-term lifetime, so that I'll rank at the top based on the far right column sort. That's all I'm looking for, Jack. That's all I look for in the world. Anyway, ape into your gold if you got to ape into your gold, and get it through Market Mania. Get your Market Mania gold. What the hell are we even doing? We're on TikTok, and we leave you today. Next week for the quote of the day, we're going to do Cocaine Week in honor of darknet markets in general and the 80s. We're just kind of throwing it back, and we will do a cocaine quote week next week. But for this week, it's going to be Too Short and his track Blow the Whistle, which was a very important track for many reasons. Something like this is one of the lines. I heard 93 rappers say bitch like me, 2 singers, 10 comedians, and I'm still gonna yell it every time you see me in. What's my favorite word? Bitch! You have to say it like that. Why they gotta say it like Short? Bitch! You know they can't play on my court, can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch. A lot of rappers did say bitch, like Too Short, and it's important to know where your history came from, otherwise you're doomed to repeat it. Like and subscribe to this show right here on YouTube, and follow us at Market Mania Show on TikTok and Twitter. Boys, say it with me. We'll see you next week. If there is a next week. But
and
for now is lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold, or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury. However, turn it where I would turn it. Can't lie like it's Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind. Was afraid of the time. Strobe light like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now. How about